we're giving some time for some others to join us. And we will welcome our guests. We also welcome everybody on board. And the order of events, I'm sure most of us have seen that. We'll have a welcome and acknowledgement, chairman's opening remark, special guest is goodwill message, guest of honors, goodwill message, citation, the lecture proper, chairman's remark, goodwill message, comments, questions, and answers. Then, of course, final remark, vote of thanks and closing. So briefly, that is how we'll go for the day. My HOD, any comments?
No comments, sir. You're on track, sir.
Okay. Do I have your permission to start?
Well, we seek permission of the chairman, sir.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, sir. What's your pleasure?
We can start. I think we are forming a large crowd already. We can start. I think so.
Okay, thank you very much. We welcome everybody that is here present. We also welcome those that we're expecting to join us. And as I said earlier on, we've seen some of our fathers, our elders in the house. Our former VC, Professor Bamiro, was one of the first to join the team, and we welcome you, sir. Then our chairman, I know you're also a very time-conscious person. You're already here. You're welcome, sir. We will recognize others as they come. Then let me briefly say that the special guest of honor is our current DVC admin, Professor Lakweba. The special guest of honor who will give us a goodwill message is the Provost, College of Medicine, University of Ibadan. That's Professor Lainka Omigbodi. You see, if I don't get it right, you pardon me. The citation will be given by Engineer Kehinde Philip. The lecturer is Engineer Demuiwa Tijani, is already on board. And all of us are welcome. So without wasting much time, Mr. Chairman, sir, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Professor Osita Onyache. It gives me great pleasure and honor to be at this 16th edition of this all-important lecture. Kindly permit me, before I say a word, to recognize that the Vice Chancellor of the University of Ibadan is blessed this very important event. And in his absential, I want to greatly appreciate him. I also want to appreciate the special guest of honor, the DVC admin, for being part of this all-important event. Professor Lainka, Fellow of the Academy of Science and Provost, College of Medicine, and the guest of honor for this event. I want to appreciate you. The HOD, Industrial and Production Engineering, I want to also appreciate you. And I want to appreciate our alumni, our students, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Like I said earlier, it gives me great pleasure to be here and an honor also to my person to have been invited to chair this important event. I'd like to tell you that I have listened very well to a pre-lecture meeting where the objectives, the expectations of this very important alumni meeting is supposed to carry out. And I'm happy to say that Koren and my very person is very happy to align with the objectives and the expectations. In other words, we are happy that this is coming up to help not only the upcoming students, but even those already in practice to be able to update their skills and be able to help the department and indeed Nigerians to be able to achieve very important milestones in life and upgrade the lives, upgrade the lives of citizens of Nigeria. May I quickly inform us that Koren is the Council for Regulation of Engineering in Nigeria, and it is a statutory regulatory organ of the federal government of Nigeria. It was established by Decree number 55 of 1970 and amended by Decree number 27 of 1972. Now Engineers Registration Act Cap E11 of 2004, and this was further amended by Engineers Registration Amendment Act number 3 of 2018. The major mandate of Koren is to regulate and control the education, the training and practice of engineering in all its aspects and ramifications. Koren, as a regulatory body, was admitted into the Washington Accord of the International Engineering Alliance in June 2023. What this means is that our certificates are already internationalized, and our students and graduates and practicing engineering practitioners are recognized beyond the shores of Nigeria. What it also means is that we have to be up and doing to ensure that we meet up with international standards. So in this wise, I am happy to be here and to participate in what is happening or what is going to happen today. I have been informed that our presenter today, Engineer Muyiwa Tijani, MNSC, is an erudite scholar and industrialist, and is also an alumni. I have also been assured that the lecture will be beneficial to all of us. So I kindly call on all of us to be attentive to derive the maximum benefit from the lecture. I'm sure at the end of the day, we will ask 1 or 2 questions for clarifications. And I want to assure you that we are going to take this lecture very important and sell the ideas to other departments to emulate what the Industrial and Production Engineering Department of the University of Ibadan is doing. I'd like to say I'm grateful to be here and wish all of us a fruitful time. Thank you so very much. So on this note, I'd like to declare that the event is open. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you very much, Prof. Please pardon me. I didn't tell you when I was calling upon the Prof to give us his speech, I would have reminded us that he is the current registrar of Koren. And from his presentation, you can see that is Koren loaded. Thank you very much, Prof, for that. And in the course of our discussion, we'll say a little more. Prof, we've also tried to invite some of your former students, all the way from Federal University of Technology, Kuto, Owerri. Celine is here, and at the appropriate time, we'll bring her on board.
Thank you very much.
Prof, we are not trying to profile you. We know that Nosa was also your student and is here with us.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much. So that will tell you that we'll try to find out a little more about the current registrar. Thank you very much. So we move on. The guest of honor, the special guest of honor, the current DVC admin, will give us his goodwill message. But if it's not immediately available, we can move on. DVC admin, sir.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Sorry, sir. Okay, thank you. I don't know you're already here. Thank you, sir.
I'm here, sir.
Yeah.
Well, let me apologize. The initial invitation I saw said 7:30, so I actually was planning on 7:30 before I saw the message from Professor Oladokun that you are live. Having said that, let me say good evening to all, and to then say it's a pleasure for me to be with us this evening. I want to commend the Department of Industrial and Production Engineering the students of the department for this very noble initiative. I've been following this program for a while, I think since inception, and I'm very excited. I'm very happy that the department is putting quite a lot of energy into this program. Of course, we've seen a couple of people trying something like this, but after about 2-3 editions, it will fizzle out. But then the commitment which we have seen this being pursued by the department, and particularly by Professor Oladoku, is quite encouraging. It's also encouraging that alumni of the department and by extension the university, they won't be brought to talk to us on various important aspects of engineering and how we can use the knowledge of engineering to actually impact our society and move things forward in our society. This is quite commendable. It's a testament to the fact that the University of Ibadan is a great university and that we have products that can be showcased all over the world. And of course, the people that have been coming have been proving their mettle. And of course, they've been demonstrating the excellence that the imbibed University of Ibadan, which university stands for, and the fact that they will use that same excellence to impact the world in their various fields. So we are very appreciative as a university for this department blazing the trail and for giving us hope, because it's actually a thing of hope. Because when we consider what the university is passing through, well, not particularly the University of Ibadan alone, but the university system in Nigeria, we are going through a very rough patch, and of course, we are working against very many odds. But in spite of that, our people are still resilient and they've shown commitment. It's actually commitment that can make somebody to be involved in all of this. So I appreciate the department, and of course, let me also also add that the university is also very appreciative to our guest speaker of today, who has accepted. That's engineer Ademuyiwa Tijani, member of the Nigerian Society of Engineering. The university is very appreciative of your acceptance to deliver this very important lecture in the series. Thank you so very much, because we know how busy people are in their personal endeavors and all that. So for you to find time to look back and give back to your alma mater is very, very commendable. We are very, very appreciative. And of course, let me place on record that the University of Ibadan now is looking towards the direction of developing very strong alumni engagement. We've come to realize that we are not engaging our alumni enough. We need to engage our alumni so that the alumni will feel a sense of belonging, that they are part of the University of Ibadan family. The tradition we want to establish now is tradition that says once you come to University of Ibadan as a student, you remain a member of that family for life. And of course, alumni should own the university. So it's like alumni coming together to say we are taking over our university. So we are very appreciative for all the alumni of the Department of Industry and Production Engineering, what they are doing. And of course, to also promise the department that the university would support the department to make sure that this program continues. And of course, we are looking forward to dividends that will come up in course of this program. So once again, I appreciate the HOD, and I say congratulations to the HOD, to all the professors and staff in the department, and to our students, and to all our alumni. And of course, very specially also to recognize the press, and I appreciate the Registrar of Current, who is also here with us chairing this program today. Thank you so very much. God bless you. I wish all of us a very wonderful deliberation this evening. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. My DVC. We're very happy you're here, and you've given us very good words of encouragement. Sir, I've noted it down. It's a promise that the university will support the department. I'm sure my HOD is listening, and all of us are thanking you in advance. So tomorrow, if we've been knocking at your door just once, now we'll be knocking 2-3 times.
No problem.
Yeah,
The
thank you,
university
sir.
will support every department that is doing anything that is worthwhile.
Okay, thank you. We appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Yeah. The guest of honor who will give us the goodwill message. She is the Provost, College of Medicine, University of Ibadan. Ma, I guess you're in the house. We want to listen to you. You have the floor. Thank you. I'm seeing Peter Adekweba, so I'm guessing, I don't know. Okay. Oh, sorry. Okay, let's move on. When she comes, she will join us. In the course of our discussions, presentations so far, some of our fathers joined us. Professor Luleye is there. Already I've mentioned our former VC. And I'm also seeing one Ibrahim Ahmed. And in due time, we'll all give you some opportunities to say one or two things to us. But our former VC, sir, can you give us one or two words of encouragement? Thank you, sir. Professor Bamiro.
Oh. Well, thank you very much. Actually, it came to me as a surprise. I didn't know that this is the 16th, you said this is the 16th edition. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
That is the 16th edition.
Yes, sir.
Of your annual, this type of annual lecture.
Not annual, sir. Monthly.
Oh, it's not annual.
No, sir.
Okay. I was already driving you back to. Okay, all right. Well, no, I think it's great as the DVC admin has mentioned. The university is really indeed grateful for this type of, event, and we need more of this, not only from industrial but from other departments, to really be having the platform in which we can discuss some of these issues. As mentioned by the Registrar of Current, I think Current must be commended as a regulatory agency, because when we call upon regulatory agencies to respond to graduate employability and the need for them to be involved in the manner of accreditation of programs, suffice it to say that Current came up with the OBE, the outcome-based education program, which is really, it's fantastic. And it's in line with what is happening in other, engineering programs in other countries. So, but the only thing I want to say in there, maybe, later on when we discuss, is that the OBE now, there is the CC Mass, which, end user has given to us. There's need to really see how we can, marry the two. But I tend to have a soft spot for OBE, looking at the way it has been, configured. But what is also important is that whether CC Mass or OBE, whether we're able to correlate all of them, the bottom line now, the direction we are moving now, is that the training of engineers, education and training of engineers, of our engineering students can no longer be left to only the lecturers or professors in the system. There's need for now industry, university cooperation. Some of you will have to be, able to handle some of the, courses bringing in your professional, inclination. So I believe that this, as we go on, you will see how this is, how this will be worked out. In other words, education and training can no longer be left to only the lecturers in the system. The people in the practicing field, we have to have the platform for them to come in, not only through CWES, student industrial work. No, that is important, but also taking some of the critical, courses that, most of you have, deeper knowledge. So I commend the alumni of industrial production engineering. I think this is really excellent, but it's not surprising. You are closer to management than all other programs. So that's why you're able to do all what you have achieved individually, is commendable. So it's a great pleasure to be here. I'm all ears to listen to and, see what, I'm sure one will gain a lot from this. So thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. It's nice hearing your voice again, sir.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure we have an assignment for Professor Lule, but Prof, you can still tell us one or two things. We know your assignment will come at the end of the day, but are you chipping anything to us at this stage? Professor Lule, sir.
Yeah, well, it's a pleasure to be here, and we welcome the Registrar of Current, DVC, and former VC. Thanks for associating with the mission of the department and the alumni. And I also look forward to the talk, which will focus on what Nigeria needs at this particular time. And I hope it will open a lot of doors to many of us. I keep my other comments till much later when I'm formally assigned. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Let's have some time. Next, we are going to item number 5, where we'll listen to the citation of the guest speaker. And that will be delivered by one of his friends, Engineer Kehinde Philip. Engineer Kehinde Philip, you have the floor.
Yeah.
Citation.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir, and everybody. Standing on all existing protocol, the chairman, special guests of honors, the DVC, VC, provost, and every other person. Thank you very much for coming. Yeah, join me in welcoming tonight's guest speaker, a renowned entrepreneur, facility manager, the managing director and CEO of Phylum Integrated Service Limited, in the person of Engineer Muyiwa. Engineer Muyiwa has been delivering high-quality managed service to various customers, both corporate and private, for many years in telecom infrastructure and built environments.
He started his career in Nikon Insurance, Strategic Business Unit, Victoria Island, Lagos, before moving to a telecommunication infrastructure maintenance firm, Tel Construction Nigeria Limited, and Powerworks Limited, Ikeja GRA, as technical manager. He was a cluster facility manager between June 2013 and August 2014 with WSP FMC Nigeria Limited, now Global Properties and Facilities International, where he managed Safe Court Apartments, Lekki, Procter and Gamble plants and warehouses in Ibadan, Tetra Park, West Africa, Alausa, and Landmark on Isaac Jones Street, both in Ikeja, Lagos. He left GPFI for Alpha Meds Facilities and Management Services Limited from August 2014 to April 2017, where he was a facility manager and later cluster manager. Centered Ice Apartment and My Sonnets on Waziri Ibrahim Crescent, VI Lagos. Pioneer Leads FM, Cardiac and Renal Center of Bagada General Hospital, Bagada, Lagos. Ikoyi Cluster Manager, The Ultimate Apartment, Femi Okunu Road, Ikoyi, Atlantic Royal Garden, Louis Solomon Close, VI. Prime Rose Property Investment Limited Portfolio, Bay Atlantic Power, Delta Africa Engineering Building, Lekki, Osborne Tower, Ikoyi, and Mairama Tower, Ikoyi. He was later promoted to Key Accounts Manager, Owawe Projects. He equally had a stint in Rapid Facilities Management Limited, now Sebo Rapid Nigeria Limited, as contract manager, Priceland Campina Wemco, Nigeria. He left Sebo Rapid to establish his own company, Phylum Integrated Service Limited, in March 2019. As fast-growing indigenous engineering and facility management firm, thriving well under his leadership as CEO. He bagged BSc Honors in Industrial and Production Engineering from the prestigious University of Ibadan and Masters of Facilities Management from the University of Lagos. He is a member of Nigerian Society of Engineers, Nigerian Institution of Mechanical Engineers, Nigerian Institution of Facilities Engineering and Management, is NIFENGM, member of International Facility Management Association, IFMA, member, Association of Facility Management Practitioner, Nigeria, and a registered engineer with the Council for the Regulation of Engineering in Nigeria, COREN. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for that brilliant presentation. Next, we are going to the lecture proper.
Thank you, sir.
And I'm calling on Engineer Ademiwa Tijani, our lecturer for tonight, to do justice to the
Good
paper.
evening, all.
Thank you. You have the floor.
As rightly introduced, my name is Engineer Muiwa Tijani, the CEO of Phylum Engineering Services Limited. Before I move on, let me appreciate my department for giving me the privilege and honor to do justice to this topic tonight. Before I move on, let me thank the chairman of the occasion for today, Professor Hey Adisa Bello, Registrar, Council for the Regulation of Engineering in Nigeria, COREN. The special guest of honor in person of the DVC admin, Professor Olapegba. The guest of honor, the Provost College of Medicine, University of Ibadan, Professor Olayinka Omipodun. I equally want to greet my host of today, Professor B.O. Oladokun, my teacher, and for his encouragement and the tutelage. Equally, I greet the former BC, Professor Olufemi Bamiru, who incidentally was the BC when I was a UI in 2005. I equally greet our professor and our father in the department, Professor Ayodeji Oluleye, who taught us how we can scale through all the challenges we find ourselves as industrial engineers. Let me move on by saying I'm highly elated to be here tonight because when I started seeing the arrays of professors, I don't even know what to say. But I want to believe whatever I say tonight has been what we have put into my mind and my mouth to say, being your boy in school. Thank you for honoring this session. This is the 16th edition of the lecture series. I want to believe everybody can see my screen. Hello? Hello?
No, your screen is not showing. Your screen is not showing.
Yet. Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. Let me
Share
try
it.
to. Okay. Let me do that. Just hold on, please. How about now?
We can see it.
Thank you very much.
So put in presentation mode. That's
Okay.
good.
It's fine now.
We are good to go.
All right. Thank you, sir. The topic of discourse tonight is finding your entrepreneurial identity. Just like Professor Olufemi Bamiru said, we are the one that is closer to management in the engineering, and we even have a particular course called engineering management. But before I move on, let me throw a question to the audience. The question goes thus. Before I move on, these are the outline. I want to believe at the end of this course, you should be able to know who are entrepreneurs, what is entrepreneurial identity, how do individuals find their own entrepreneurial identity, how I find my own entrepreneurial identity, how can entrepreneurial identity be developed, and finally, how we give back to our alma mater, the school, University of Ibadan, and particularly industrial engineering. So my question through to the audience. Say when we are coming home from our workplace this evening, can anyone say how many number of red people as indicated here were able to spot this evening as we are coming back from work? Can you equally drop our answers in the chat box? So I move on. I take that silence for no. Yes. Let me say again that perhaps in the morning, while preparing for this lecture, every member of the audience received a message from me that if you are coming to this lecture, kindly spot at least one red vehicle as we are coming down. This will hire you 50,000 naira. I want to believe not one or two audience will have answered my earlier question. That is what we call opportunity. It means opportunity passes by us every day unnoticed. Because red people may not be in our radar, no one cares. Now, the word in the quote of Thomas Edison, opportunity is missed by most people because it is dressed in overalls and looks like a work. Let's go back to the definition. I call the definition of entrepreneurs the opportunity grabbers. Then in course of my research, I got the two definitions, the first two definitions in the course of my research as apt for a definition of an entrepreneur. I now use the two to crowd up the third one. The first one says, entrepreneurs are those who have the ability and readiness to organize, develop, and run a business enterprise solely to make profit. While the second one says, those who can cope with the uncertainty that come along with it. Now, the one I crafted out is the third one, which says, those who turn opportunity beacons to wealth. As you can see from the picture that's depicted here, that somebody is being given a bag of dollar, and the other was even trying to convert it to wealth, which is what we are saying. It means the opportunity grabbers are the entrepreneurs who will do everything to ensure that once an opportunity beckons, they convert it to wealth. I move on. Permit me to play this video. It was a video that went viral sometimes in 2020 during the COVID about Oreoluwa Lawal, which mommy was about to beat and was remorseful and beaten. Let's listen to it together and watch it within the next 1 minute. Thank you.
The volume is low, or does it not have the volume?
You can't hear the volume?
Yes.
Oh.
I think you need to share your sound in the settings. Just try and share the sound and then.
Can we hear the volume now? Oh, okay. Anyway.
No.
Don't worry. It is. Mommy, calm down.
Yeah, it's Mommy Calm Down video.
We
Yes,
know it. Don't worry, we know this thing.
Thank you. Thank you for watching. Can you hear me now? Am I audible now?
Yes, we can hear you. You're fine.
Thank you very much. Yes. From that video, the boy was about to be scolded by the mom for some infractions he has committed. But the boy have the confidence, the bravery, and the smartness to even be telling the mom how he was going to be scolded. Now, the mom saw this as an opportunity for her to show to record the video. And the boy was asking, "Mommy, are you videoing me?" I said, "No. Just do what I ask you to do. I want to beat you." Now, they move on. Later on, the mommy shared the video into the social media space, and we started picking it up. 2 weeks later, the video and a recognition, the attention of the governor of Lagos State, Mr. Babajide, who called them for recognition in Lagos. Mind you, these guys are in Benin. After that one, little did anyone know that 2 months later, the video bag endorsement for the boy bag endorsement from a real estate company in Abuja to sign a 2 years contract. What I'm saying in a nutshell is that the video happened to be an alternative revenue for the boy and the family. The rest is history. Let's move on. I even heard that even the boy has been featuring in some of the home videos. That is how opportunity comes knock on around us, and we are not noticing it. Types of entrepreneurs. Basically, there are two types of entrepreneurs. We have the public entrepreneurs, we have the private entrepreneurs. Against the general perception that entrepreneurs are only in the private sector, you equally have the public entrepreneurs who are individuals within the government institution that can identify opportunities. You should notice the keywords, opportunity again, leading to the development of new business ideas that could help achieve socio-political objectives by harnessing resources to identify objectives. While a private entrepreneur is an individual who has civil legal capacity, is legally registered as a business entity, carries out certain activity, and is liable in accordance with his or her duties with all property belonging to him or her. Now, let's have an example of public and private entrepreneurs. Some of us who have known this space, Mr. Akim Morokola, the current principal private secretary to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he is a lawyer and an ASUS administrator. Upon joining civil service of Lagos State in 2001, Mr. Akim Morokola, for his assiduousness, while showing this, he was appointed as the permanent secretary, sometimes in 2014, Ministry of Lands. He leveraged on his entrepreneurial drive and look at how the processing of CFO for genuine landowners in Lagos State is being done manually. Now, he adopted technology. He adopted technology as a means of processing the CFO. He did not only achieve success in this, he showed up the revenue of the Ministry of Lands to an unprecedented high. He was later appointed as the head of service, the pinnacle of a career civil servant, Lagos State, before he resigned about 2 months ago to join President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Another entrepreneur of repute within our circle tonight is no other person than a guest of honor, Professor Mrs. Olayinka Omigodun, who, on assumption of duty as the college provost, College of Medicine, University of Ibadan, leverage on our entrepreneurial drive to put together all the alumni of the college and bring them to a town hall meeting. You and I can attest that the singular event was not only successful, but bring accolades to Madam, far and wide, within and outside the country. Well done, Madam, and wish you more wins in your future endeavors. That is the quality of entrepreneur in the public sector. Entrepreneur in private sector. A typical example is no other person than our very dear Engineer Femi Akintunde, National President, Industrial Production Engineering Alumni Association, who equally happened to be my boss, under which I was mentored and tutored while I was in our family facilities. Engineer Femi Akintunde will stop at nothing to get any business opportunity going to his side because of his entrepreneurial drive. Mr. Femi Akintunde was in Nestle. He made his mark as the pioneer industrial engineer who set up industrial engineering department in Nestle. He resigned as a planning manager to join SNEPO before he started his own business, now Afami Group, then Afami Facility and Management Services Limited. A 3-bedroom flat apartment in Oni Room now turned to a multi-billion naira investment under his watchful as the group managing director of Afami Group. This is an entrepreneur of repute. I move on. What is identity? This is what I call the stamp. Identity simply means the meaning that individuals attach to themselves and often understood to answer to the question, who am I? Asking the question allows people to fulfill a basic needs, as we have said in the example I have given in the previous slide. Why entrepreneurial identity refers to a person's act of meanings, including attitude and belief, attitude and subjective evaluation of behavior that define him or herself in an entrepreneurial role. How does individual find their entrepreneurial identity? I call this one the radar. In finding your entrepreneurial identity, individual must possess the following: a very strong work ethic. I must say at this point that one must not compromise your integrity while you are working under a paid employment or self-employment. The person that is finding his entrepreneurial identity must equally have passion and drive for entrepreneurship. He must be ready to take risk, resilient, and innovation. He must be adaptable to whatever environment he is, where he can pick up on every opportunity that comes within his radar. Network and building relationship. It is on these notes I want to share my experience and how I eventually found my own entrepreneurial identity. But it is critical and vital to know that CWES, that Prof talked about the other time, was what gave me the impetus to be able to call myself an entrepreneur today. CWES, for those non-engineering guests we have tonight, Student Industrial Work Experience Team. But during my 300 level IT, I went to Industrial and Training Coordinating Center to go and pick up my placement letter. On my way coming, I was accosted by a friend, a classmate, to say, who told me, how will I get a placement to a generator, to a sales and a repair company? What do I stand to gain as an industrial engineer? This talk struck my mind. I was devastated and daunted. But at a point, I pick up, I cannot return the letter because the time is already up for me to go and resume. But I remember something, that as an industrial engineer during our 211, that our focus should be system of my optimization. This is what I picked up. I went and I resumed in Leventis Power System, Ijora, now Kumis, West Africa. During this period, I was taken around during induction, but I have another face that I can look up to, who is a fellow UIT from electrical engineering, who is coming in for 6 months IT. So with this, I have a respite, so to say, and we started working together. But I was posted to mechanical engineering department because the belief of those engineers there is that anything that comes from industrial and production engineering is an offshoot of mechanical engineering. So I was posted to mechanical engineering department. Why this? There are several opportunities which I was trying to leverage on, but I focus on the generator overhauling. Then Leventis Power System was the sole provider of power infrastructure for Nigerian bottling company, then Coca-Cola. Every day and night, we're having generator coming in from plants because they were the one providing that power infrastructure for all the Coca-Cola plants in Nigeria. So I was posted to mechanical engineering department, as I said, and we started overhauling. I will lose 800 kVA generator from top to bottom while we were doing this. To cut the long story short, we finished. I've learned a lot of things. I saw some machines too, but I did not get the necessary tool to use my industrial engineering skill, what we have been taught in class. We have been statistical control. Some other, I finished my IT. I wrote my report on generator, overhauling, maintenance, sales, and the likes. Then when the result came out, I got 6 points. I was not too happy. What my friend told me was How will I survive in the event that Nigeria got power stability? What will be my means of survival? There comes another opportunity. 400 level CWES. 6 months. I had to go back to Industrial Training Coordinating Center, ITCC, to go and pick a letter to a manufacturing group. I was posted to doing industry then doing pharmaceutical industry at Orile. When I got there, I saw processing line, I saw machines, I saw everything. Then I was posted to quality control unit, quality control department. I was so elated this time around because I started seeing I'm now having interface with what I have learned in class. Then we can see non-conformity, conformity in the line, how you can see the ones or not, we can remove. I started seeing some of the activities in practical terms. Now, we were able to do some tests with the chemical lab. We were doing sometimes in biological lab. But I was speaking on the opportunity I can grab while this was ongoing. There is another unit, a mechanical section, where they have a mold, where they have preforms and they are molding them to PET bottles because they are equally making juice, prime juice then. I got to know one time called brisk contact. Contact. That is the sugar level in all those drinks. The sum total of this was that I was able to have an interface with what I did in the industrial engineering for my 400, from my second to 400 level. Now, unfortunately, when I finished my 400 level IT, there was also strike. I was sitting there at home. A week later, I picked the thing again. Now let me go back to the Leventis Power. I called the workshop manager. I went there. When I got to Leventis Power, I used just 2 months. Then I was sent out to go and deliver parts in Benue State, Makurdi, to be precise. This gave me another opportunity to travel out of Southwest Nigeria, which I've never experienced before. I came back, and remember what I said, for anyone who is trying to find his own entrepreneurial identity, there must be a strong willhead, and the integrity must not be compromised. The money that was given to me, I was looking for a way to retire the money. I collected the retirement paper and gave it to one of the technicians. The technician assisted me in doing this, but I suppose he's overshoot the bill. The workshop manager grabbed it and was annoyed with me. He now told me that till I leave that place, I will not travel again. And he will continue giving me daunting and tedious job in that thing. And thought this man was there to punish me. I never knew I was about to gain further experience in generator. Now, I used another 2 months. The 4th month has to call off strike. But this time around, my report is on manufacturing sector, where I had the original CWES experience. Then I got 7 points. I was so happy. Then we were in 500 level. We finished. When we finished our undergraduate study, another unfortunate thing happened. We could not be mobilized until September then, and we finish in January. I was not looking for another way to go back to Leventis Power. Because the truth of the matter is that it's not that I could not be taken back and doing it, but they are not paying. We did it free. I look at the transport money and everything. How would I survive? I went back to Leventis Power. I was given a field service engineer role, and I was being paid a stipend of 60,000 naira, which was big money then. Back then in 2004. 2005, yes. Now, 2 weeks into the new employment, I've been moving around with some of the field engineers. Then I can conveniently service the generator, that's the preventive maintenance service. I can conveniently do some little repair. I can change parts. So after 1 month, I was deployed to standard the former head office, the then head office of Chartered Bank on Idejo Street in VI. There comes another opportunity. 2 weeks or 3 weeks or thereabout in that thing. One of the maintenance guy from the bank just caught my attention. Engineer, please, can you overhaul generator? He had somebody, they had the Air Force officers mess in VI there, before Abayomi. They need to fix their generator overhauling. Of course, I could not overhaul generator conveniently. But as I took the risk and say confidently I can overhaul generator. Then I now remember that I have a brother-in-law friend who is dealing with generator. He's a senior technician. I brought him in, prepared the course, and I got it. I got the contract. For the first time, from that generator, I earned nothing less than 250,000 naira. I was so happy. Added to my salary, that's about 300,000 within that month. I'm still waiting to go to be mobilized for NYC. Later, after 4 months, I was posted to PZ in Odogunyo. Why there? I was able to get some experience from this process engineers to solidify my industrial engineering experience. While I have double honor now, so to say, I can fix generator. At the same time, I have some little experience in industrial engineering. Also, there comes the time for NYC. We're mobilized, and I was posted to Abia State. I was thinking that I was going to get a company in Aba where I can leverage my experience to be in their maintenance department. Unfortunately, I was posted to school in Abia North, out of Chukwu local government precisely. I'm going to be teaching chemistry and physics. I was not too happy. At this junction, sir, the current registrar, sir, I want to appeal to you. Do everything within your power, sir, to ensure that graduate engineers are not posted to schools, because it's not adding up to our experience. When we have used 5-6 years in schools, I eventually will be taken to school to go and be teaching. I have no option because I did not want to press for reposting. I did this for 1 year. Then I came back to Lagos. Then, because of the way I taught those students, I have 4 of the students who follow me to Lagos to come and enroll with one of their relatives to come and enroll in this one. I am bold to say today that out of these 4, one of them is medical doctor, one of them is microbiologist, and 2 of them are mechanical engineers of repute today. And we are still in contact. Now, I was now searching for job. But what my guy told me then was striking mind, that if I try to major in generator maintenance and the event power got stabilized in Nigeria, how do I survive? I knew I have option of going back to Leventis Power, but I did not. I stayed like 3 months at home. Another opportunity came calling. One of my friends working in the insurance company, Nikon Insurance, called my attention that will I come? I pick it up. Let me go and see what they are doing there, while I'm still looking for engineering job. Then it was the time Nikon was just being sold out to Barrister Jimo Ibrahim. We were employed under UBA Insurance then. We were just acquired to form Nikon Strategic Business Unit. Our modus operandi is quite different from the larger Nikon. So we were taught how to market, sales, and we agree with me that sales of insurance is one of the tedious sales you can ever experience. We were taught how to do this. Then I pick it up. Then there was an injunction from court that Nikon has been taken over by the federal government because of due process. So why this legal tussle was on, they stopped our salary. I kept on looking for job, but I didn't want to look for job in insurance. Another opportunity that came calling them was that a senior colleague of mine knew how to do Excel very well. Microsoft Excel. So I just called on him to please teach me Excel. This guy taught me within the 2 months to intermediate level. The 3rd month, the new assistant general manager, Lagos zone of Nikon, came and asked us to vacate the office that they could not pay UBA again and move us from Victoria Island on Ijola Emi to Nikon office on Adeola Adeyemo Alakija. Then they restructured and posted me to life insurance unit. He now gave me another task that within 2 weeks, I should get him the claim of all policy between 1967 and 2007, 30 years. Why I pause? The knowledge of engineering, economics came in. Added to the knowledge of the Excel I have, I put the formulas together. I was able to submit this within 1 week. The man was astonished. Then he gave me another role that I should be teaching the old staff how to do the calculation on Excel. I did it successfully within 3 weeks. One of the company I've applied for engineering now called, that's Tech Construction. Then they were looking for a quality control engineer who will be in charge of your warehouse where they are fabricating sample and they are coupling the generator, as you can see on my slide. These are generators in CKD being imported from Lebanon, and these are the ready-made, ready for deployment to site. The knowledge of engineering the generator that I learned in Fidelity Power is now merging with the quality control because I did my final year project. The topic of my final year project then was simulation approach to quality control system design, which of course, as an undergraduate, as a pre-graduate, I'll put it in my CV. This is what caught the attention of the company management. Then I called for an interview. I was successful. I was picked as the quality control engineer. Now, I got to the warehouse. I started using my industrial engineering tools. Don't forget that what my friend told me was that I was working in a generator company. But I pick on the opportunity around me to ensure that my knowledge of IE is being utilized as I'm learning generator and I'm getting generator training. So the first assignment was for me to take delivery of the generator that's being imported from Lebanon. Then while in Liberty Power, I have connectivity and network with all the people that are doing all this service. The one that is using IAB for rental, the one that is using crane, and the one that is using forklift. So I call on one of them. I was able to reduce the cost to the barest minimum to what they've used to deliver this, and I successfully get all this, receive the delivery. Now, I now design the layout of this thing using my facility layout planning approach to fast track the coupling and the deployment to site. Then we're working for Starcoms. We have a contract to deliver 4,000 sites, the stipulated time. So generator were rolling, we were coupling on this. But the thing is that I've set up a quality control unit, designed the sticker for quality pass and the likes. But the only guys is being managed by the HR. So whenever they send a report that we have 20 generators on ground, my sticker will stipulate that I only have 5 ready. So there was a problem. To cut the long story short, there was a day that I did my inventory, I left. And we dropped the key with the project manager, who call it a Lebanon. So this man dropped the key for one of the boys, who in turn picked some materials and stole some. 2 days later, I did my restock and did my stock counting. Unfortunately for me, there are missing parts. I reported to my line head, the power manager in the head office. Before you know, the following morning, police was invited. So were invited. I was picked up. I was detained for 2 days. During these 2 days, many generators were able to move to site without quality test, just because people need money. So from there, the 3rd day, I was able to get a lawyer. We eventually invited those who have the key to the warehouse with them. Then the project manager, the Lebanese, was detained too. So the chairman of the company got United has to stop the whole thing, that he doesn't want his kinsmen to be jailed or to be detained in the police station. So I was now invited back to the head office. My direct line there now told me that since I've set up the place, that I will have to be moving back to site, not in Lagos. I need to leave the entire Southwest and move down to far north, Kano and Katsina. Within the next 4 or 5 months, we are already completing the site build. There's need for us, for Power Works, to take over the maintenance. I took over I was called back to Lagos. My transfer to Lagos, I was called to the office. The general manager, the power manager, and the chairman told me that I've been nominated to be the maintenance manager and the team coordinator in charge of the Southwest Circum site. Now, they now told me one particular thing, that the revenue accruable from that maintenance department using third-party vendor, Dubai brother, is 100 million naira a year. Then I prepared my proposal and submitted. My manager, my line head now told me that I must ensure that if I cannot meet up with that 100 million naira in a year, I should be able to go more than that. Then we started. They gave me all the working tools and the working tools. Lo and behold, within 6 months, I was able to make 180 million naira for the company from the maintenance. You can see the opportunity I have in Kumis, the Lebanese power, is now working for me. I was later to be appointed as technical manager, sales site. After about 5 years in telecommunication infrastructure maintenance company, Starcoms shut down and were paid off. Between that period, I've already had my master's in facilities management from the University of Lagos. Then I need to look for another opportunity in facility management, where I saw one of our lecturers there, who is an adjunct lecturer, taking us facility management courses in practical terms. So I learned the whole thing. So I approached him that I want to work in his company. He now told me during the interview that since I don't have experience in facility management, they will be giving me 73,000 naira. Where I was coming from, I was on 140,000 naira in 2013. I pick up the role and I was deployed for induction in one water Carrington. There, another opportunity came calling. The opportunity I saw was that I was able to know how to resolve leakage problems within the estate from the managers I work with and the technician. Within 3 weeks, I was deployed to Safe Court apartment in Lekki. 114 high-rise building, 114 apartments with 7 floors high-rise building. We have lift, sewage treatment plant, water treatment plant, and the lights. All the critical facilities we can have in an estate. While I was doing this, the first challenge I had was leakage. And I was solving this problem 1 hour that they were coming. There was a particular flat which was used then as a nursery school by the developer. It's a creche and nursery school for the occupants of the estate who have small children at and they need to meet up with their work responsibility. So then we are in WSP, which is now Global Facility and International. Now, they've spent thousands of naira on this problem. So when I got there, when they fix the problem, the following morning, they will see the leakage again. So the man now asked me to go and look at the problem. Within 2 weeks, I was able to solve the problem we observed, and that problem was fixed. I was so happy that I'm now finding another opportunity which I'm leveraging on. Now, I'm now a generator, maintenance person, I'm a facility manager, and a building service manager. just because I was able to take every opportunity that beckons around me. So after that, there was a problem. Armed robber attacked me. My wife was pregnant, and they stole in my house. My house was burgled at the midnight. They ransacked the house. The new laptop, everything for the company gave me was taken away. I was even injured, and I left to the office 2 days later. Within this period, the MD was not so happy with me. Meanwhile, why this incident happened, my wife delivered. The guy that was supplying us diesel gave me money in appreciation, I mean, as for my wife newborn. Then the same thing happened. One of the MDs of a blue chip company saying they gave me 10,000 naira too, making 30,000 naira when I don't even have any money. My assistant facility manager had to go and report in the office that I'm collecting money from vendor. Then I was calling for diesel. I was calling for diesel reorder. Nobody attended to me until the site shut down. The next thing my MD picked up that since I've been collecting vendor, I don't even take my own responsibility as it should be. I was suspended. I was so disappointed when they accused me of diesel and collecting money from diesel. While I was managing Starcoms, I was signing not less than 400,000 liters of diesel every month for vendor. I didn't collect a dime. So I was devastated. That's why I said, before you can say why we are finding your entrepreneurial identity, you must have a very strong work ethic. But the money I was given nearly cost me my job. So the developer that I fixed the leakage in the house now called, it took the intervention of that man to call my MD and say, no, this guy has to be restricted. He has been investigated, and he was not too sure that he actually collected money because of the diesel. And they called this and everything went down. Now I was posted to P&G in Ibadan. As at the time I got to P&G in Ibadan, we are already on performance improvement plan. Performance improvement plan that our contract has been terminated within the next 3 months. 5 managers had managed the contract. I have just 1 month left for the end of the contract. I was posted here. We are looking for performance metrics of 80%. 80%. The last I met there was 79. So I put all the tools I could use together to manage the resources I have. I have 108 staff in Ibadan. I was the 190 employee there on that contract. We are managing soft services all through. So the first 1 week, the appraisal was done. I was dropped to 69. The MD picked up and said, I know there's no way you can pick up. I didn't even look at that. The second week, I went back to 79. I leveraged on some of the colleagues. I networked them coming from UI. Who are you calling UI? To know what the particular problem, why are we scoring, are we being scored low during our appraisal. I put everything together. I organized meetings. I organized induction and retraining for my guys. At the end of the 3rd month, we did not only achieve 80% benchmark, we got 92%. The email I got from my MD was that, guys, join me in thanking the team in Ibadan. He didn't even accord this achievement to me. About 5 minutes later, I saw another countermate from the CLC. Sir, give it to this guy. We have had 5 managers on this contract. That singular act gave extension to that contract for 3 months. Eventually, the contract was terminated. A letter was written from Lagos, sent to me in Ibadan, that my contract has been terminated with the contract. I rejected, and I told the person, the HR then, that no, I was not a contract manager, but a full-fledged staff with full employment with global facility. I went back to Lagos. The MD told me, you are not going to get salary because I don't have site for you. I said, I'm okay with that, sir. 2 days later, we won another site in Victoria Island. Then we have the MD coming to the meeting room that you need to get Kumi's generator to site within the next 48 hours. Fortunately for me, the BI branch manager of Kumis happened to be a brother who finished from statistics department in UI. I picked my call, I called him, we got the generator, we sealed up the purchase, and deployed to site. Now, over the weekend, there was an existing generator. When they deploy the generator, where they position the generator, there's a swimming pool between the powerhouse and where they position. There will be need for us to hire crane. So Cummins now charged my company 1.4 million naira to position a generator in the powerhouse. So the MD now called again. I now told him, sir, I can conveniently do this thing with 700,000 naira. Now told me to sign an undertaking. Not everything was so to say. Before the order started managers, that in the event that the generator fall, I'm going to pay. I said, I agree with you that this is a risk taking. I took the risk because I'm so sure. I was so sure that I was going to deliver that thing. Lo and behold, I delivered that generator. I even installed it. He now told me I should not install that generator, but I installed it because the existing generator is not functioning. Now, the night of the Sunday that we're supposed to commission, the first set of guests entered the apartment. They have now called again on the platform that the technician on site was trying to put on the generator. Unfortunately, the generator is not common. I now told him, sir, let him put on the second generator. He said, did I install it? I said, yes. But I called the attention of the power manager in Dubai, who equally came and checked what I did. We installed the generator, and that's how we will secure the contract. That did not convince him enough. He now posted me to Landmark on Isaac John, where I was coordinating Tetra Pak and the other locations. I equally put together all the outstanding issues they are having and resolve them. So he was getting the feedback that you have a new manager that is performing, don't mess up with it. He was not convinced. He now back one Sunday like that. They have 4 generators and we have E3 there. They are synchronized together, but those generators did not, none of them peak when there was power out. Now the MD now called the power manager. Unfortunately, it's a Sunday during church service. He has put his phone on silence. So he now put it on the platform that he was going there. And now said to me, sir, I will be going to that site. I got to that site, and eventually I power one of the generator. He got there. Then I was going out with my kids. He took them to the entry. That's the place in front. He bought my kids snacks. Later, I saw a message on my phone that I never knew I was not tapping on your expertise. Please meet me in the office when I come back from my traveling. He was about to go to South Sudan. Then I've already did an interview with our family facilities. I've got my letter to resume in 4 weeks to that one. So I begged them to give me 6 weeks so that I can accommodate the 2 weeks. When he came back, he called me to the office. He announced me as the technical manager, the new technical manager. As he's announcing, I prepared my resignation letter. I submitted it. He was devastated. And I told him that, sir, it is better you leave where the way you are there. I've been waiting for this opportunity to come. I need to leave. He said, where I'm going, I didn't disclose where I was going. I told him I was going to go and start a business of my own. Of course, I've registered 5 of them, but I didn't get a footing. At least I was not too sure whether I was going to start this thing. Because yes, I'm performing, but do I have everything ready for me to start a business? Apparently, no. So when I got to our family, I was given a enabling environment to perform under the direct tutelage of Engineer Femi Akintunde. I was first given a cluster manager, but the cluster manager forum told them that no, this guy is just coming in, he has to go through the process. And so my role was changed to facility manager. Within 9 months, things that others are getting, the position that others are getting within 3-4 years, I got it within 9 months. I found it. Then I was having the feeling that yes, I can establish a business. By then, I've been selling generators. I've been getting on my own aside also. I've been doing private customer to fit generators. Then I work in our family. I manage most of the flagship sites. The one that was read out, those that were read out during my citation, so I don't want to bore you social rhetorics again. I move on. As at the time I was appointed as a key account manager, I've achieved many successes. It's performance that never went below 84% in our family. I was the A-band manager all through my stay in our family. I now move on. I remember that the time I had a call one day I never know. One of my colleagues in Global was in Sebo Rapid, then Rapid Facilities Management. Rapid has just won a contract in Fremont Park and Pinal. As they won the contract, the lady now told the MD then that he has a colleague, former colleague, that can fix the contract for him. I now received a call from this man. The day I was meeting with him in 4 Point by Sheraton was one of the Nigerian conference we had in 4 Point by Sheraton in Lagos. I think in about in 2017. I was supposed to be in the session while I was meeting for a new employment, new role. I was offered a 750,000 naira net salary. Then in Afamid, while I was promoted to key account manager, I have a driver, I have a truck, but my salary is almost half lower than what I got. But how do I resign in Afamid? This is man that has done a lot for me. How do I do it? I summoned the courage and I approached the HR. I dropped my letter. Everybody called me, said I need to move on. I got to Sebo Rapid in April 2017. I worked there. One thing that happened while I was in Fiscal campaign. We were waiting for contract signing. When there was a contract we were supposed to execute, obsolete milk destruction, milk that are already expired. I never knew that the general manager operation is having a company within the system that is using to get contract. So I submitted my bill to the category manager in Friesland, 5.4 million naira then. He came back to negotiate. We finalized on 4.9. About 2 days later, I received a call from my general manager operation. My MD was not in the country then. That the category manager is going to call me as he renegotiated with him. I should pick up. How much? He said 1.9. Wow. I said, okay, where I was coming from? I don't have such a culture. I would rather don't be part of this. We have to read these people up. That's the implication. How will you go low from 5.9 to 4.9, from 5.4 to 4.9, now 1.9? Eventually, they did the job. No worry, the aftermath, cancel the contract. That we are going to read them. We are not going to add value to their contract. Now, the MD was not too happy because it was a project of about 750 million naira. I was called back to the office. While I was called back to the office, this guy was not too happy with me. It was what happened. Now told my MD that I should be posted to a bank. I said, no. I had it from the onset that as an engineer, I will never work in a bank. I said, I would rather remain as a project manager, and then they gave me the opportunity as a project manager. Then I was managing the contract and the new business. That was why I got more experience on how to package business proposal. On one day like that, the GM operation and the HR called me. That manager said I should go and resign. I said, well, how do you mean? I should go and resign? The management in South Africa know me. They should have called and said, they will send an email. But this I did not receive, and you're not telling. I never knew there is a connivance to both of them. Eventually, I was forced, I resigned. The MD came back and said, what happened? He said he was misbriefed. And what he was saying is different from what I was saying. I said, I have resigned, I need to go. That was the genesis of how I formed Phylum Degree Services. I formed Phylum in 2018, not 2019, March 1st, 2018. With the network I have already built, one of my classmates got me registered in his company, and we started delivering small services for them in facility. At the end of 2018, I have a turnover of 1.9 million naira. Then I started with the 400,000 naira the then MD of Sebo Rapid gave me while I was going as a paid off. Then I sold one of my cars. At the same time, I put together my pension fund. I wrote a letter to call for 25%. That was how I put fund together to start my business. I must say this, that since I've been running a Phylum, I've never for once approached bank for a loan. Now, it's now time for me to put the team together. While I was in that family, I have 2 IEs who were under my tutelage for industrial attachment, 6 months industrial attachment. As at then, when I was starting Phylum, we were coming back from service. I called the 2 of them to come and start the business with me. And I got the technician. I called on them, I trained them on the job training and the likes. I was giving them training. And we achieved the success to win a contract with Jotna Nigeria Limited, the owner of Lacasera, worth about 50 million naira. After this, at the end of 2019, we are already from 1.9 million naira. When our audit was done, we moved to about 64 million naira. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you that at the end of 2022, Phylum Business Services is now doing a turnover of over 120 million naira, starting from zero. That is how I find my entrepreneurial identity. Before I finish my talk, during my research, I find this entrepreneurial identity development useful, packaged together by a psychologist called Dr. Sarah Beck. Let me see if I can show it. Sorry. I'm trying to open. Sorry. In order not to waste our time, I will share the table. It's in phases. I don't know why it's not opening. It's been open. Let's see. I think it's trying to open now. Yes, this is the table. It's in phases from phase 0 to phase 5, to phase 4. Talking about how individual can develop their entrepreneurial identity. This worked for me when I went through it, and I want to believe it will equally work for will-be entrepreneurs. Now, let me move on. Giving back. The success story did not stop from the establishment of Phylum Business Services Limited. While I was in TEL, I've been able to train one of the IEs who had the 6 months under me, 6 months CWS under me, now a CEO of an engineering company in Ibadan. That was back then in 2012. He's currently in UK and still running his business in Ibadan. Aside that, we have successfully trained those 2 industrial engineers in operation and facility management and operation and project management. One of these ladies is in the UK, in Scotland now, working for Blue Chip something as a project engineer. We have equally successfully trained 2 undergraduate industrial attachments in 2022. To cap the success story, one of them now is undertaking his NYSC with me as an operation service operation service officer in charge of projects, operation support officer in charge of projects. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, member of the audience, permit me to say that we will continue to do more to support our alma mater, the great alma mater, the University of Ibadan, and in particular, Department of Industrial and Production Engineering, by making sure that it receives its enviable position in the engineering profession and the degree. And I need to say this, that it is good for us as the department to incorporate, and engineering profession at large, to incorporate entrepreneurship scheme or studies in the engineering. I wouldn't know if that has been done, but I think it is good for us to start looking for that, to incorporate in our curriculum and ensure that we have industry-based experts to come back and be taking our students in school so that they can have interface with what they are doing in class in practical terms with what is going on in the industry. I'm now concluding with this quote from Seneca, a Roman philosopher, who says, "Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity." Once again, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, this is my talk on the discussion, finding your entrepreneurial identity. Thank you for listening and good evening.
Thank you very much, Engineer Tijani. for the presentation. We have listened very attentively to your presentation, and I'm sure some of us will have one or two things or one or two questions to ask. But before we get to that, I will allow the chairman to make some remark on your presentation. Then some others will also come in and make their contributions. Please, I will suggest that we might not be able to take all that will come. So if you can drop them in the chat box, we can pick them up there, and maybe it will be easier for us to handle from that end. Mr. Chairman, sir, your remarks, sir. Prof.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm sure all of us have listened. At a point, I was carried away. I forgot that we're in a meeting. I thought we were in a discussion. And it took quite some time, but I came to reality that I'm still online. On behalf of the entire audience, I want to thank Engineer Ademuyiwa Tijani for the incisive talk that he has given us. More importantly, on finding your entrepreneurship path. Entrepreneurship identity, I know it's not everybody that has the opportunity, but I think I can look at what he has presented and remember what we used to go through when we were in secondary school. And I think it aptly captures the entire work. And that is that chance favors a prepared mind. Because if he was not prepared along the line while he was getting those opportunities, the likelihood is that he will not be here to share this success story with us. So thank you very much for what you have done to us, to inspire those of us that are coming up, and to redirect our path for those of us that are already on the entrepreneurship identity search. You will agree with me that he leveraged on every opportunity given him, and he did not say that it has to be strictly engineering. And that also captures one of the apt moments I used to have those good old days, that there's no knowledge that is lost. As much as you are growing up, you will always learn, and try as much as possible to imbibe those things that come across you. Thank you very much. I wouldn't want to say much for now, just to thank you and to say that we are inspired by what you have gone through. And we hope that all of us that are listening will pick up from there and be able to straighten our shirts and move on. Thank you very much. I know there are questions, and we'll be able to come through them as we go on. But permit me to quickly address one of the things you said earlier on about teaching for graduate engineers. Yeah, we have long realized that, and we are doing a lot about it. The former Minister of Works, His Excellency Babatunde Fashola, at that time, had given us the opportunity to insist that every federal government project should accept our students for industrial training. And for industrial training and for NYSC. Yes, we in Koren have also insisted that all our engineering graduates must be posted to industries. But you will agree with me that it's a tall order, but we are trying as much as possible. We're using all our offices in the entire federation to ensure that if there's any reason for any corps member to be posted to the class, we should be aware. And so we'll pick it up with the NYC. So that is being done. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm already seeing some hands up. So we'll take some of the questions. And as I said, you can also send them to our chat box. Celine, if you have anything for us from Futa, worry.
No, sir.
Is Celine still there?
I'm still here, sir.
Yes.
Okay, I don't have question. You just
Okay. It's all right. Aji Shegiri from the UK has stepped out. Maybe he will join us back later. Yes, who is Temibobo? Sorry if I did not pronounce the name well.
No, it's
very
it's my Monica. My name is Temisa. Engineer Muyiwa and I were classmates. Was our indefatigable class rep at the time. This presentation has been very happy. It was not better timed than this. And I'm happy that he has been able to make his impact in the industry, in the field. And his story is not like a question, but there is an aspect of his story that we will need to really emphasize. And that aspect is got to me from my little literature knowledge, or one of Shakespeare's quotes, which I love very much, from one of Shakespeare's play, As You Like It. I think it's from the second act and the first scene, when the Archduke then, Ferdinand, while he was in his forest with some of his loyalists, he made a first remark, and that thing still guides my thoughts till today. And I saw it all over Engineer Muyiwa's story and presentation. And it goes thus. He said, "Great are the uses of adversity, which like a toad, ugly and venomous, wears yet a jewel in his head." All over the story that Engineer Muyiwa has given us is the fact that he faced adversity on several grounds. The one from his employment, the general societal adversity, and everything, and it all ties into the entrepreneurial identity he has today. So I'll be very happy if he could put together some small book or small pamphlet or something, so that the engineers coming up would be able to gain and know that it's not going to be rosy all the time. There will be steps, there will be blocks, there will be stumbling blocks, and there will be opportunities. So that is my contribution. That is the challenge I'm giving to Engineer Muyiwa. Write down something, document this story, and let it go round through the system for us, so that we will benefit, our children will benefit, the coming generation will benefit from your story. Thank you very much. It was a wonderful presentation.
Yeah. Thank you very much for that. I'm sure he has noted it. There's a question. Somebody is asking whether they can apply for graduate internship in your company. But before that, let's listen to our former VC, Professor Bamirosa.
Well, thank you. I think I must commend the presenter. I mean, he has done an excellent job. And I was even wondering whether I was reading it, how he could remember all those details that he presented. I mean, it's really fantastic. But my just a request to him. When myself and Professor Alos, he may know Professor Alos, who is in Lagos Business School. Okay, I was there for my sabbatical, and we were tackling on issues similar to what he has gone through. We were able to do, case studies of some growing companies.
Because one of the things we have noticed is that if you don't grow, they will squash you, just like a Nokia, is experiencing now. So we put together, the idea of need for growth. So we had a book containing cases that we covered on the like of Oluwayeni, the like of Remita, and all these people when they were still growing up, and encouraging them to grow. So the book is titled The Pains and Gains of Growth. And we could see from your presentation, you went through pains, and then of course gaining, and then growth. So what I want to say is this book, I think we wrote it as far back as it's almost 7 years old now, if not more, 10 years. And we are trying to review it. And our review has to do with bringing on more cases that can illustrate, the issue of entrepreneurship and how you try to grow, a company. So I think yours will be, a nice case, a case that will be very useful. And of course, this is the type of thing that we use for our students when we are teaching them entrepreneurship, so that they will see how some people have been able to, grow their, how they started and how they are growing. So it's a special, I will still get back to you that, we'll be able to articulate your own experience from the point of view of pains and gains, of growth.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, sir. I will always like to listen to you. Before we go for that, I just agree if you're there from the UK, can we have just 1 minute, not more than a minute? He's one of us, but he's over there. He didn't Japan.
No, he will Japada.
Yes, Dr. Ajishegiri.
Yes, sir. Yeah, good evening, sir. Good evening, my lecturers. And yes, I'll just say that the lecture by Engineer Mikhail is very interesting. And what I will say is that as I think the moderator said that not everybody will have the opportunity to leverage on entrepreneurship, but basically is that whatever we are doing, we should look around and check any opportunity that is there, so that also we can contribute to the growth of our environment. And as someone said, that if we look at what we can give to the environment, to the community, then the benefit will definitely come to we later on. That is, the money will come. So, but if we start chasing money now, we may not be able to see the money. But if we try to provide some things that the community needs in terms of providing service, definitely we will gain it later. And that's what Engineer Tijani has done. One time like that, I was with him when I came back to Nigeria, and I was like, my senior colleague happened to be like me in terms of how we grow together, in terms of maybe somebody that comes from the low background, and now he's been able to move far ahead. And so we should not think of the money now. The money will come later. We should look for opportunity around us, and if we see it, let us grab it and utilize it. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Ahmed Ibrahim, sir.
All right.
Just 1 minute.
All right. Yeah.
Not more than a minute. Thank you.
All right. Yeah, thanks. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to stand on the existing protocol. First and foremost, I would like to congratulate the department and the university for organizing this beneficial program that some of us are coming back to attend. We're really grateful to you. I also want to congratulate the speaker for putting up a fantastic performance tonight. I thoroughly enjoyed myself, and I learned a lot from his presentation. Two quick questions for him. For those who work at the moment and are aspiring to be entrepreneurs at some point in the future, when is that exit point? How do you know the time has come for you to leave your paid employment and then go start something? And then you mentioned something very remarkable in your presentation, that you've never had any cause to approach a commercial bank to seek financial support. We know that may not be easy for many other entrepreneurs. So what has been your strategy in funding your project? Because I know the kind of projects you get involved with are quite capital intensive. What has been the approach that you've taken to stay above the water level? I give the floor back to you, Professor Osita. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much. I will suggest that the speaker should be noting down the questions. At a time, he will give us some of the answers. So let's also listen to Engineer Ola Abe. Just 1 minute, not more than 1 minute.
Good evening, sir. All protocols observed. But before I go forward, I just want to thank Professor Bamiru for literally changing my life. I was ISA secretary, that was 2002, and believe me, life was hard. And I was at that point, everybody who can remember me, I don't think anybody has seen me smile all the years I spent in the University of Ibadan, because I'm the first child and I knew life was tough. So I was at that point when you gave that presentation about your works with Lafarge, and I think, is it Q Life or Q Consult? And I was just like, a computer can change my life. And I said, I'm going to go in. When I bought my first computer, it was a tug of war, and I'm there today. I'm running a SAS company. I've resigned and all that. Thank you so much, sir. I'm very grateful. I'm grateful for the department, because this is a tradition, really, that has gone way back. So, but what I just wanted to comment is that everybody must be an entrepreneur. You actually have no choice, because you cannot give your job to your children, no matter how fantastic. I know people try to gain connections, we try to gain networks that we probably can hand over to the next generation, but most of it is not, it's just waste of energy. The only thing you can viably give to the next generation, okay, let's even say you can help a child or two. Most of us in Africa, we have 3, 4 children. You really can't make a significant change without entrepreneurship. So how do you turn, the real challenge for us is, how do we turn a bad situation into something that works for our good? So for me, that's where entrepreneurship stands. It's not an optional thing. Whether you are in civil service, you are in lecturing or anything, or a student, we must keep it at the side of our height. I worked for about 18 years, but every time I worked, I always told my bosses, I said, I have a company, I'm running a business. And over time, opportunities have risen from just that. I've gotten major projects because my boss just heard me talking about my side business. And when the company got to that turning point, they just had to give me that chance. So that's one comment. And the second comment is that for you to be a good staff, you have to be an entrepreneur. All the years I was working, I'm usually one of the last staff to be paid, because my boss knows I'm running a business. So something in his mind just tells him that I understand the situation of the company. When my managers are talking to me, I understand their position, because I probably am going through what he is going through, despite the fact that I'm a staff. So entrepreneurship allows you to look in the eyes of the boss. You are able to see in another dimension. You understand the challenges the business is facing, because you probably are facing that same challenge. And it just gives you a totally different leverage. Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you very much. Let's give the lecturer opportunity to respond. Just a quick recap. Is it possible you write a book Can graduates have internship at your end, and how possible is that? Then there is a book written by former VC, Need for Growth. What's your take on that? Then if some other person was asking, when is it the best time to exit? In industrial engineering, we say optimum. Then, of course, what are the strategies you've employed to secure loan? I mean, to
What did we
your
tell
business
you?
without securing loan. And everybody actually should be an entrepreneur. My teacher told me that there are entrepreneurs, EN, and there are intrapreneurs. I think the last speaker was talking about intrapreneurs. So, Mr. Speaker, sir, over to you quickly.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much for the opportunity once again. I think on the issue of writing a book, I'll be looking into that, probably in collaboration with the department, with my teachers there. I'll put what I can put together, then we'll learn together. We are in for it together on this. Thank you, Temisan, a good classmate. Then the second one is about the gain and pains or growth by Professor Bambiro. Sir, I'll be willing to meet with you on this, probably through the my HOD, to talk more about this by the grace of God. So we'll talk about this. Then the other one on internship. Yes, just as I rightly said, I have somebody, she came for an internship after they finished. I gladly picked her up off because they had IT with me and I saw her performance. I think it aligns with the company way of taking people who have been able to prove themselves. So she came for internship, and from there she was opportune to be posted to Lagos from NYC, and she's on this call tonight. She's currently having NYC with us. Of course, she has been seeing some of the things in practical terms we really need for our own future endeavor. So we are open. The departments, you can reach out to the department, you can reach out to us. We are coming for internship, no problem. We are open. Our office, where you can go through our website, you will see our office and the contact there. We are ready for that. I said the collaboration will continue, as I said in my presentation. Yes, when do you exit? Said when elastic limit is exceeded, just as we are in our elementary physics. Just as I rightly said, I have gone through finance, I have gone through the technical, I have gone through every other thing that I needed to do. Now I've been facing a challenge. That's why I said when elastic limit is exceeded, just like when you get to the wall, you could not move again, you turn back. Because I've seen that the next thing for those guys to start rubbishing you. So I need to exit. When I don't even have anything to start the business, but I know I could do it. So the thing is that we'll have seen the feelings. In terms of performance, we'll have seen your performance, we'll have seen every other thing. And don't forget the power of network. The relationship management is key too. When you have all this, the sum total of all this is what is going to bring you the enable environment to say, yes, we have the impetus to go and start your own business. But some of the people I manage are the one who are not getting me registered in their company. I've been registered. Now, there's another thing that I need to divulge to the audience tonight is that though I did not work in any of the multinationals, but I have more than 4 multinationals I'm currently working for, which I won't want to disclose them because of the policy we have with them. So I have more than 4 multinationals that we are working for. Through the network, I'll be able to at least manage, and the relationship I was able to manage while I was managing some of these contracts that I thought my boss was not even looking on that side with me. So with this, by the time you see that there are some kind of experience you have garnered and you have seen your performance or even paid unemployment, it is time for you to exit, having garnered the needed experience and the required level of exposure. Let me put it that way. Then the capital, how we were able to manage, the strategy we are using is this. Whenever we have a project, we have a couple of friends in our book that we can reach out to. So what we do is that when we have the project, we get the PO or we get the contracts, we package together, we approach them. Do you have fund that is just there, just there lying down in the bank? That is not how to manage this thing. So what we do is that we call them on them, we submit our proposal and likes, then we do do what we call profit sharing at the end of the day. We will work everything out. If it's going to be 70-30, we work it out. But what we do is that your contribution towards the project will be your equivalent profit sharing. That's what we're doing. Over time, we're able to gather some kind of resources, and there are some projects we are using our money to do now. Because some of the clients we are managing, at times 4 months, 5 months, we may not get our money back. But we are already planning for it ahead when we are putting down and putting together our costs. So those are the strategies we are using. So it's profit sharing approach when we have a bigger project and the likes. Then I think the last one is on
everybody should be an entrepreneur.
Yes. That is why I said in the course of the discussion, we have public entrepreneurs and we have private entrepreneurs. If you have the mindset where while working for under a paid employment, while working, do it as if it's your own. When you have this, that's why I said you should have a strong work ethic. When you are doing as if your own, you will know when the entrepreneurial identity will come that will force you to go and start your own business.
Okay. Thank you very much. I don't think there are many questions again to take.
There's one hand on the call, Engineer Ahmed. I've seen one hand up, Engineer Ahmed, ASY.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir. And the organizers. Yes, can you hear me?
Of teaching hospital.
Clearly, sir.
I know in the
thank you very much. I want to say like 2 to 3 things briefly. The Registrar of Koren has spoken earlier, and by the statute of engineering curriculum now, yes, entrepreneurship has been included, which also need a further work to be done, and this can only come from this kind of forum to make sure they intensify that the best of it is achieved. Based on the new trend.
Can go on, sir.
And how engineering should become practice in Nigeria, and also in most of that is out education in engineering, and they are. Can you hear me now? Can I continue?
You can continue, hello? Sir. Go ahead, sir.
Hello.
You can go ahead, sir.
Okay. And those attributes are tailored towards producing employable, or let me say a market-ready engineering graduates, and they are as follows. The attributes are to address engineering knowledge, problem analysis, design, development, usage, the engineer and society, environment and sustainability, ethics, individual and teamwork, communication, which happened to be the last. Now, if you look at our facilitator for today, who is an individual and is also a team player. So he functions effectively as an individual, also as a member or a leader in diverse teams and in multidisciplinary settings. Sir, one thing I observed today, this is coming from one who has distinguished himself in the practice of engineering and also a graduate of a university. Today, one of the major mandates of Koren and also to the engineering development is that alumni and stakeholder engagement is very important in terms of curriculum development and giving back. If you look at the number of people that participated in today's program is very, very low. And I will request that next time, whenever we are doing this kind of lecture, it should be made mandatory Yes, I know it's not everybody that will join, but let the student, the undergraduate student, should be able to join this meeting like this and see what one of them has achieved. And in addition, there is also a need, if possible, not only writing a book that matters nowadays. For him, for our speaker today, to go back, create some little time, go back to the school, have face-to-face with the undergraduate student at least once in a semester, or if possible, let us say twice in a year, so that apart from putting all what he has achieved in a book, let him have a face-up with the younger or the undergraduate student. And from them, I'm very sure we will have more like him, or if possible, more than what he has achieved. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I think we are getting to the end. The guest lecturer, I don't know, do you have any further remarks? Or do we go to vote of thanks?
I think most of the things I would have said as my closing remark has been said by the last speaker, which I
Okay.
believe the department and the faculty at large will work on. We'll be expecting the feedback on the platform. I'll be willing. So what I will now say last is that on behalf of myself and the company, we'll bring a token that I wouldn't want to disclose here, which I will, of course, get across to the HOD. We support the department in their this thing.
Thank you.
Thank you. Department on behalf of myself and Final Engineering Services.
Thank you, sir. The department appreciate it, sir.
Thank you. I guess it was the goodwill that was on while my line went off. Sorry about that. We will now call our father in the house, in the department, Professor Luleye, a teacher of teachers, a professor of professors, to give us a vote of thanks. Prof.
Okay, thank you very much. And so on behalf of the organizing committee of the IPEAA, we extend our sincere appreciation to Registrar Current, Professor Engineer A.A. Bello, FNIC. We thank you for your insightful opening remarks. Thank you also for your leadership and presence. And these have added immense value to this gathering today. So thank you so very much. And we hope that you will leverage your position to ensure that the quality assurance of the Nigerian engineering cadre is well taken care of. Also, special thanks to our esteemed special guest of honor, Professor P.O. Olakpegba, who also spoke at the beginning. I think at some point, he was representing the Vice Chancellor on these programs until he became the Deputy Vice Chancellor, I think late last year. Thank you so much, sir. Professor Lainka Umigbodo was not able to join us, but incidentally, she was a case study used by the speaker. So we'd like to also thank her, and we'll get some words to her, and I'm sure she will watch this lecture probably on YouTube or anything else, or whatever forum. To my teacher, former Vice Chancellor, my boss, under whom I worked, and a mentor, Professor Olufemi Bamiro, thank you so very much for joining us. You've been a shining light. Some of us came back to teach in the university because we saw you as go, smart, brilliant, everything packaged together. And thank you for your sharing experience every time. I remember when you shared the idea of a triple helix. It's been with me almost forever, and that's the way to go. It's a good thing that in the country and all the institutions, engineering institutions, are now moving in that direction. Before we thank the speaker, I would like to thank Engineer Kehinde Philip, who did an eloquent citation of our guest speaker of today, Engineer Muyiwa Tijani, who would like to thank very much for the captivating lecture. Actually, he was sharing his experience, and it was very enlightening. In fact, it's not just a book. Even though we listen to him as a person, he has so many case studies. He was pulling off the air and pulling off his head, and you can see that he's been through the grill, and the exposure is quite commendable. And the way you handled everything, you are a good example of fortitude on the job and resilience, which is required anytime you have a vision. And you know that that vision is achievable. So thank you very much. And we hope to continue to liaise with you with a view to leveraging your experience and many other things. Again, would like to thank, I mustn't forget the MC, Professor Anyeche, for steering us through the program. Thanks for all the acknowledgements and so on. To the IPE staff and alumni, would like to thank you for blazing the trail in this developmental process of Nigeria. Many people look at the top, the president, and so on. But if Nigeria will change, I think it's people like us who can actually bring that change by engaging. The HOD, Professor Ladokun, thank you for steering the ship and making sure that we can continue to make the mark. And I hope that this ship will continue to sail, to save harbor. We mustn't forget all those who made comments verbally and through the chats. Your participation has added depth and relevance to the discussions we've had today. Again, to our guest lecturer, thank you for your insights, and I hope these things remain indelible on our minds.
Thank you very much, sir.
We thank you all for the commitment shown. I think the program started at about 7:05, and this is 9:15. For a program in Nigeria to hold such a group for so long shows the value of what we've done tonight. And as we leave tonight, my hope is that we'll carry with us the knowledge gained and the connections made, also with the inspirations that have been shared. May the impact of this evening be far-reaching and long-lasting, not just for each and every one of us, but for our dear country, Nigeria. And as we act locally, hopefully by God's grace, we'll be making global impact. So thank you so much, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It's been a pleasure. We thank you all. Thank you, sirs and ma'ams.
Thank you, thank you, and thank you. I'm sorry, permit me to breach protocol. That shouldn't be further taking of questions or comments, but I can see one hand that has remained raised. Engineer Kudeti, is there something very important you must tell us, as if it's already taken care of? Okay, I think the hand is off. All right, thank you very much. We are happy you participated. At the time, we were having about 80-something participants. Now it's down to about 62. It's been a very exciting moment. We thank everybody for being part of it. And on this note, unless if my HOD still has one or two things he wants to tell us, we are rounding up at this point. HOD, are you still saying anything? Okay, thank you, everybody. And about this time next month, we'll be knocking on your doors again. So please be part of us.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Good night,
Because
sir.
I have to. Good night,
Thank
sir.
you, sir.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, sir. Good night, sir.
Bye-bye.